I think that one more important thing that I think about is the option to create motivation for yourself, because
Hmm.
sometimes it's not like a one-way street. It's not like
Right.
going up, up, up. It's a roller coaster sometimes,
Uh,
and
uh,
you need to
all the time.
all the time, maybe all the time. You're right. And you need to have the energy. I think that most people, I would say even myself, I never thought about energy that much as when I became a business owner, because I said, okay, I'm an energetic person, I can do that. But
Hmm.
then you found out that, like I found out that that there's so many challenges on the way, and you don't have a manager you could blame, or maybe lots of teammates you could think together, or even workers who do the work for you, which is so challenging, and you need to have the emotional capacity in order to do that.
Yeah, and it does take a lot of energy, particularly opening yourself up, because you have to accept responsibility for the decisions and actions you make, and you have to be able to say to yourself, I made a mistake, I should have done it differently, right? And sometimes emotionally that's hard for people to do, right? And a lot of bright personalities are very centered on I'm successful and I'm this, and they're focused on that, but it's hard for them to connect and learn from their mistakes, right?
Right.
And for me, that was early on. I didn't have a choice. You had to accept that responsibility when you start new. But I've met entrepreneurs who worked for many years and they started a business later in life. And one of the things they really struggled with is really accepting that responsibility, right? But deep down, when it's your responsibility and it was your issue.
Yeah.
You may try to pass it on to other people. Oh, it's their mistake. But, the fact of the matter is, he who's CEO is responsible for everything. So
Yeah.
in the end, it's all your mistake. But, you know, it's so,
Yeah.
my skill as an entrepreneur has only improved through my failures, right? So I don't look forward to failures. I don't like failures. They emotionally are very difficult and hard to do. On the other hand, if you're able to be open and honest with yourself and say, okay, I screwed up, I failed, whatever, that's where most of your learning occurs. Right. And
Right.
so for me, I don't look forward to a failure, but I look back on the failures that I've had. And although emotionally I feel embarrassed or bad or whatever for the mistakes I've made, I can also see, oh, it helped me grow and become better. And when you have a situation where you took a different path because you learned from your mistake, then you feel that feeling of success of, hey, I actually improved and I actually did it right this time. Right.
Yeah. And
And
in
that
general, when you're doing things, you might fail. When you're staying in the same situation, in a known situation, a place that there are not many unknowns, okay, but
yeah.
you're not doing much.
And entrepreneurship, for me, that's why I'm always involved in new businesses. So, right now I have two businesses, Screenbox, which is pretty stable and a nice team. I have a marketing company. We do a lot of content marketing, and again, a small team, but it's now a stable business. I'm consulting with probably two or three other businesses I find interesting, helping them do business. And if those grow and do something, then I may join their teams or help them in some way. So I always have something kind of going in the background. It's a stream of learning because I'm always learning about those things. They're different than what I'm doing. So they give me, some different energy than a stable business. And that still allows me to feel like I'm learning and growing, because one of my personality traits is I always need to feel like I'm learning something, right? That makes me happy when I learn something. It's one of the reasons why I do podcasts and all those other things, right? Because
Right.
everyone I meet, it's usually a learning experience. And so that to me is important, right? And
Yeah,
that
for
keeps
me
my
too.
energy up, right?
Yeah, I totally understand that. Through the years, I had opportunities to join a team in companies that most people would think they're very attractive to work with, very big corporates, tech corporates, And through the years, I found out that it's not for me. Although, like many people would consider it as being like a very good job to have, but for me, the fact that I'm working with so many different products and different teams and always learning is something that will fuel my day from the beginning instead of like, okay, I already know that, so what's next? What's next?
Yeah.
And I would not enjoy doing that for more than a few months. Okay, that's not
Yeah.
for
I
me.
mean, I like, if I learned something and got some experience in a product or something, and I go and help somebody with something different, I like that because you can take the experience of the success of one product and you can bring those things to another product that may be completely different, a different market or a different type of product or a different sales channel, but you're able to take some of the basic mechanics of success, bring it to that product and still learn how those mechanics transfer, right?
Right.
And that's always exciting, and that keeps it up.